Hello everybody, and welcome back to yet another OceanWP video. My name is Matthew Turner, and in today's video, I'll be showing you guys how to create an OceanWP portfolio within your WordPress site. So, what is Ocean Portfolio? Well, it is a premium plugin and a part of the Ocean Core Extensions bundle. It serves to help you create a display of your own work. Or in some cases, users even allow this to help them create a single portfolio for a particular product that is not sold online and needs to be custom ordered. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys a few live examples of some portfolios that are already integrated into a WordPress site. The first one that we have is a portfolio website from the OceanWP demos repository. And if I scroll down, you can actually see that we have integrated in a portfolio section within the home page. So if I just scroll down a little bit faster, you can see over here, we have this really cool looking portfolio section that allows a user to view all the recent portfolio sections or projects that a person has worked on. This could be products, this could be artwork, photography, this can be anything that your WordPress website is about, or anything that you would like to showcase to your users. If we scroll down, okay, we have the option to select this, and what it'll do is it'll take us to the single portfolio page. So if I just click on this link, okay, and here we go, we have this portfolio, this particular portfolio, a single portfolio item, okay, with the main image, the featured image, as well as a heading and some more information about the particular project. Now, I will also be showing you guys how to customize this and style it up a little bit differently within the OceanWP theme customizer, okay? But say for instance, we wanted to create a particular portfolio page, a page dedicated towards our projects solely. So what we can do, okay, I'm going to head back over to this one, and as you can see, we have a particular page called Portfolio, which is dedicated towards all of the recent portfolio items. So this is really cool. We have the option to select it, okay, and then it'll take us to the single portfolio page. What we can also do is we can filter through the different categories. Now, if I select designing, okay, then you can see it filters them out accordingly. And it's also making use of the Ajax filter, so it does this all on the page and doesn't have to reload, which is a great feature to have. We also have videography, and we can filter through them all. If we select that without the link, then it'll actually show us the featured image, and we can filter through them within a gallery, a lightbox gallery. So, without further ado, let me show you guys how exactly we can get this integrated into our site and more suitable towards our own particular needs. So, there we go. As you can see, I already have the portfolio plugin activated and installed on my WordPress site. But for those of you that do not know, I'll show you guys real quickly where to access it from your downloads within the oceanwp.org website. But it's important to take note that we will also have a link in the description below in this video that will show you guys how to upload, download, and activate the Ocean Pro Core Extensions bundles onto your WordPress site. So let's head over to the oceanwp.org website, okay, and I'm already logged in, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my account. And in this section over here, what we can do is we can select download extensions. Now just give us a few seconds to load. I'm going to select downloads. Downloads, okay, and then from the list that appears below, I'm going to search for Ocean Portfolio add-on. So all you would do is you would select download, and then a pop-up will appear with the license key, and it should automatically start downloading to your computer. So once you've done that, what you can then do is you can head over to plugins, okay, and select add new, and then you can select upload plugin from your computer. Now just remember that it will ask you to activate your license key, okay, so do bear that in mind. In the next section, I'll be showing you guys how to create a single portfolio item. Stay tuned. So, now that we've uploaded and activated the OceanWP portfolio plugin, what we're going to do now is we're going to create a single portfolio item for our website. So in order for us to do that, what we need to do is we need to head over to the portfolio section, and we need to select portfolio, okay? And as you can see, I have no portfolio items within my WordPress site. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select add new. Okay, now it's important to take note that we can either build this with an Elementor or any other page builder that you like, such as Gutenberg. But for the demonstration purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to be making use of Elementor and the default WordPress editor. So for the first one, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select add title, and in this case I'm just going to give it a title name of photography 1 or whatever, just for a demonstration. So let's call it photo 1. Brilliant, just like that. Okay, and I'm also going to give it a bit of a description beneath. So I'm just going to copy and paste some lorem ipsum text that I have at my hand, just like that, and I'll duplicate that again. So we have 2 paragraphs of text about this particular portfolio item. So again, you can edit in there. Okay, now it's also important to take note that you do need to have a featured image set for this portfolio item. So I'm just going to select the gear toggle, okay, portfolio item, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in a featured image. Now I already have some images uploaded to my WordPress site, okay, and these are all the ones that I'm going to use for the demonstration of this video. So the first one I'm going to select is this nice looking image of some mountains, okay, select set featured image, and we have to give it a category. So I've already got a mountain category added over here, but it's not set, so we can either set that, and we can also add in a new category called photograph or photography, something like that. Alright, so I'm going to select add new, and now I have mountain and photography categories selected for this particular portfolio item. Now you don't need to have categories set. It is important to have categories set if you would like to enable the Ajax filtering system later on. I will be showing you guys how to do that. So for the demonstration of this purpose, I'm just going to select both of them as my categories, okay? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select publish. Again, you can have a look at the OceanWP meta settings for this particular portfolio item. You can customize it if you like. I will be showing you guys how to customize them in a later section of this video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select publish. Now if I select view item, okay, as you can see we have the portfolio item title over here, and again I'm going to be changing the styling up just to make it look a little bit better later on. So we have the featured image, and if we scroll down we have the title as well as the metadata about the post or the portfolio item and the description about this particular portfolio item. So that is how we create a portfolio item, a single portfolio item within the WordPress editor. In the next section, I'll be showing you guys how to create it within Elementor, and again, it's the same as what you would do within any other page builder. Okay, stay tuned. Okay, so now that we've created a single portfolio item within the WordPress editor, what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back over to my dashboard and I'm going to create a new portfolio item, but this time I'm going to edit within Elementor. So what we can do is we can head over to portfolio and we can select add new. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select, or I'm going to give it a title name of photo 2. Brilliant. Okay, and I'm just going to leave the title as is like that. Again, we do have to select the featured image. Okay, that does not change whether we're not creating within WordPress or within Elementor or any other page builder. You always have to select a featured image. Again, so what I'm going to do, okay, is I'm going to add in the second image. I'm going to select set featured image. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select the category of photography. We can add in a new one, all right, and we can say something like houses. So I'm going to select add new. And now we have houses and photography selected as the categories. Okay, again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select publish. All right. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select edit with Elementor. Just give that a few seconds to load. Okay, and now what we can do is we can add in some more content within our Elementor page builder. So I'm going to select a new section, and let's say for instance, let's get some text in there. So I'm going to select the text editor. I'm just going to remove all of that, and I'm going to paste that. And then what I can do is I can either duplicate that section, or I can just add it again as a new paragraph underneath that. But with this, you can add in more images, you can change the layout, you can have 2 sections with some text, possibly an image to the right, more information about the post or the portfolio item. So you have a little bit more to do within the Elementor page builder. Again, it's entirely up to you, and that's exactly the beauty of it. It's really easy to customize the way that you want to. Now, unfortunately, we won't be able to customize this the way that the featured image is displayed, but I will be showing you guys how to customize that within the customizer to change it up a little bit to make it look a little bit more unique. So that's how we create a single portfolio item with Elementor. Stay tuned for the next section. Okay, so now that I've shown you guys how to create a single portfolio item within your WordPress site, what we're going to do now is we're going to be creating a page dedicated towards all of our single portfolio items, just like an archive page. So in order for us to do that, what we need to do is we need to head over to Pages, okay? And we are going to select Add New Page. Now, you can name this any way that you like. It doesn't have to be named Portfolio. In my case, I'm going to select Photography Portfolio. It can be anything that you want. It doesn't have to have the name Portfolio in it. Again, you can also play around with the layout of the page. You know, you can choose which one is going to be best suited towards your site. You have the full ability to customize this any way that you want. In my case, what I'm going to do is I don't want to display the page title, so I'm going to select Disable. Okay, again, you don't have to do that. You can also create your own menu for this page. But I will be showing you guys how to add this page to the menu once we've created the new page. Okay, so it's important that you select the template of Portfolio. If you don't select Portfolio, the portfolio items are not going to be automatically pulled onto the page content. So I've selected Portfolio, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to select Update. Okay, and now if I select View Page, update and view page, we can now see that our portfolio items have been automatically pulled onto this page. Again, I'm not going to go into the styling of it too much. I will be showing you guys how to customize the styling and adding filters and so on and so forth. But if you wanted to make it more unique, you can edit this page with an Elementor or any other page builder that you like. Okay, so that is how easy it is to create a portfolio page for your WordPress site. In the next section, I will be showing you guys how to customize this and add this page to the menu. Stay tuned. Alright, so now that I've shown you guys how to create a new page dedicated for your portfolio items, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to add this page to your menu within your WordPress site. Now this is rather straightforward, so for those of you that want to skip this part, feel free to have a look at the next section. There will also be a link in the description below that shows you guys how to create a WordPress menu if you want to come back to that at a later stage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back over to my WordPress dashboard, and I'm going to head over to Appearance and Menus. So as you can see, we don't have that menu that added to the menu. So what I want to do is I want to head over to Pages and View All Pages. And as you can see, the one that we created called Photography Portfolio, make sure that that's selected and then select Add to Menu. Now, again, you can just drag and drop this to whichever section you guys would like it to be displayed in. In this case, I want to have it under or beneath Services, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select Save Menu. And once that's saved, I'll just preview the page to make sure that it worked properly. So I'm going to open this up in a new tab, and over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select Photography Portfolio. And just like that, Bob's your uncle, we've created a new page and it's available on our WordPress menu. In the next section, I'm going to be showing you guys how to customize the single and the portfolio page items. Stay tuned. Okay, so now that I've shown you guys how to add this page to the menu, what we're going to do now is I'm going to be showing you guys how to edit the archive portfolio page as well as the single portfolio item. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to show you guys how to edit the single portfolio item. Now you can either click customize and then select it from there, but I'm going to select it this way as I find it's easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the single page item, okay? And now we're going to be targeting the styling globally. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select customize, okay? And what we can now do is we can select portfolio. Let's just wait for it to load. So I'm going to select portfolio, and I'm going to select single portfolio item. Now again, what we can do is we can play around with the layout of our page. So right now we have the full width section available, but now let's select full screen. So what this does is it removes the padding, okay, and it selects the image as a full screen, the featured image. Again, if you have any widgets or sidebars that you'd like to integrate into the single portfolio item pages, then you can do so by selecting the relevant layout. Like this one over here. So we can have the sidebar on the left or the sidebar on the right. It's entirely up to you. But in my case, I want to keep it as it was, the original feature, okay? And I think for the styling that I'm going to be going for, in my opinion, looks the best, is I'm going to select featured image in page header. So what this does is this adds this to the top, and it brings the title as well as the breadcrumbs within the header section, which I really like, okay? And then you can play around with the center styling or the positioning of the image. My apologies. So I'm going to select top right. I think that looks a little bit better. It's more centered. Again, it depends on the image that you're using. Now, in my case, we can also play around with the attachment. So this will change the movement of the image upon scrolling. So I'm going to select mine as fixed. Now, if I scroll down, it has a really nice motion effect when you're scrolling. Okay. Again, you can also play with the image depending on how big it is or how much width of the screen it takes up. In my case, I'm going to leave it as no repeat, okay? And I'm going to select size cover. Play around with this. You can select contain, okay? And then you can change the overlay color to something like orange. You know, it's entirely up to you. So just play around with whatever best suits your page. So I'm going to select cover, okay, and I'm going to choose the overlay color as, let's say, like a darkish blackish color with an 85% opacity. Now, if you do this, you might see that there's going to be two featured images over here. Now, in my case, I personally prefer there to be just one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the featured image, okay? So now it's only the image within the header, which is going to be displayed. Now again, it's entirely up to you. Whatever your personal preference is, play around. You can customize this in any way that you want. Now again, we can have the option to change the layout or the positioning of our elements. So on the top, we have the title, okay, and then we have the metadata, the content, and then we have the tags. All right. Again, we can play around with the positioning of this if you want to. So if I wanted to bring the title down to the bottom, beneath the content, then it would switch up like that. But I think the way that it was perfect, so I'm going to leave that back up there. Again, you can also remove the metadata if you so wish, just click on it. But in my case, I want to leave it there. And let's scroll down. So again, we've got the tags, which is over there. We've got the social sharing options if you want to be able to share this, which I think is a great idea. We also have the related portfolio items over here, okay, as well as the comments below. Again, we have some more metadata information that we can edit or play around with or customize the way that we want to. Okay. Again, we can also change how many related items we would like to show. So if I push this up to 4, then there's going to be 4 of them available for us to see. So if I choose 4, okay, and let's change it down to 2 columns. Something like that, or possibly 1 column to have them smaller but in 1 row. Okay, so all the way down, but I think having them in 5 columns or 4 columns would probably be best. My apologies, 4 columns, just like that. Okay, now we can also change the width of the related post images, so you can target those if you like. You can also target the height if you want to display it at a different height. And you can also change the meta separator. So that's how you can customize the single portfolio page. There isn't much else to it. It's entirely up to you how you want to style this. Again, this is your website, not mine. So please be sure to style this in a way that is best suited towards your design. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to publish this, okay? And in the next section, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be showing you guys how to edit the portfolio archives. So stay tuned. So, now that we have learned how to customize our single portfolio items, what we're going to do now is we're going to target our portfolio archives. So in order for us to do that, what we're going to do is we need to head over to our portfolio page, the one that we created. We can do this from within the menu section over here inside the customizer. So I'm going to select it. Okay. And now what we can do is we can edit this section, our portfolio archives. So currently we're still in the single portfolio item section. Okay, we want to exit that. And over here we can first start targeting the general settings. So under the portfolio page for the breadcrumb. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to select the portfolio page that we created. In my case, it's photography portfolio. Okay, so it's important to set that. The next one that we have to do, or you don't have to, but if you do end up changing it, is the portfolio item slug. Now it's important to take note that if you do change this, okay, it's going to bring up an error and you're going to have to reset your permalinks within the general settings tab. Now I will cover that in a later section, but it is important to take note that if you do make changes to the item slug, the category slug, and the tag slug, that you will have to save your permalink settings again. And like I said, I will go through that in one of the last sections. So just important to take note of that. Okay, under the next section we have the layout section. Over here, just like we did in the single portfolio items, we have the ability to change the layout of our page. If I wanted to make it full width or full screen, okay, then we have no paddings around our images or our portfolio items. Again, if you wanted to add in a sidebar with some widgets inside of it, then you can do that, but I don't have any set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to revert back to the previous selection. Again, if we scroll down, okay, as you can see, I have 6 posts or 6 portfolio items. But what we can do is we can actually change them to display only a select amount. So say for instance I only wanted to show 4, then we could just toggle the number there. Okay, and now there are only 4 displaying. You can also play around with the columns. So if I have 2 columns, there'll be 2 in a row. But in my case, I want to leave it as 3 and I want to bring it back up to the amount of posts that I have. Okay. Again, we can also change to toggle between masonry on and off. Okay, so that's entirely up to you if you like the masonry style display. In this section, we have the title category position. Now, currently our title and our tags or categories are displayed on the outside, but if we had to select inside, then if we hover over an image, you can then see that the link to the portfolio item as well as the lightbox, it's inside as soon as you hover over it. So I'm just going to go back to the section. I was not supposed to click that. Okay, so if we scroll down, okay, we can also choose, I'm going to leave mine as outside, I prefer that. Okay, and I'm going to select do not display the title. So I'm going to select off, okay, and then what it's going to do is it's only going to display the categories and tags. Okay, so you can also choose to remove the link to the single portfolio item. So if I select off, then you can see that the link button is gone. Okay, so if you click on it, it's not going to take us to that. So I'm going to leave mine as on, as it was. And then you can also choose to display or remove the categories so that we only have the image. But in my personal preference, I like the categories to be displayed. So now for the pagination, because I've only got 5 set to display and I have 6 portfolio items in total. If I select pagination on, then what we're going to be able to do is we're going to be able to toggle through all of our portfolio items by page. So that's entirely up to you, but if I had 6 displayed, then there would be no pagination at all. So that is that for, you can also choose the centering or the positioning of the pagination, either left, center, or right. Again, that's up to you. So let's go back to our portfolio section. Now what we have is the option to add in our filters. So currently it is set to off, but say for instance we wanted to be able to filter between all of the different categories that we have for our portfolio items. I'm going to select display on, and then as you can see, we're now able to filter through all of our different categories. So these are the categories that I created when we were creating these single blog post items. Okay, now it's important that you do need to set up categories in order for these filters to work. So I'm going to select mountains, and then the only one that's going to be displayed is the mountain, clouds, houses, tech, trees, and then bridge. Okay, now this is the Ajax scroll filtering system, which means that it's going to load the content on click without having to refresh the page, which is a great way to do this. Okay, you can also play around with the positioning of the filters. So you can either have it to the right, to the left, or you can have it full width. It's entirely up to you. You can also choose how to search for or filter through. You can either choose categories or tags. Now in my case, I didn't set up any tags, so it's only going to be choosing the categories. You can also play around with the responsiveness as to which the display of the filters changes according to the device width. So if we set it up to something higher, then I think this will be changing to, there we go. So this is what it'll look like if we're on mobile, but obviously I want it to be full display, so I'm going to change it to 480 pixels. So anything with a device width below 480 pixels is going to change the display to suit the width of the device. Okay, again, you can also add some more margin to the top left right of the filter section, to the margin, to the filter links, and then some padding with the buttons and so on and so forth. You can also change the colors of the buttons. Right now it's currently set to the default theme colors, but it's nice to know that you have the ability to be able to change the styling and the colors of the buttons to filter. So I'm going to leave mine as center. I really like that. Okay. And that is everything for the filter bar. Again, we also have options to choose how to display our images and so on and so forth. Right now it's currently set to 300 by 300 pixels, but you can change them according to your preferences. So, image target. Choose if you want to open your portfolio item or a lightbox to the image click. In this case, if I select this, what it's going to do is it's going to open up to the portfolio item. But if I select open up a lightbox, then what it's going to do, if I select the outside of that, it's going to bring up the images in a lightbox. Okay, so now what we can do is I think we can change the size of the image. Oops, let me just click that again. On lightbox, so I've changed the size so it's a little bit bigger. Again, you can choose to display whichever one's best suited towards your design. I think that's pretty nice. I'm going to select the large one. Okay, you can also change the color of the overlay. Currently it's set to a grayish color. So if we change up the opacity, it'll change too, but you have to reload the page. So I'm just going to select as was, going to remove everything over there. Okay. Let's just close that quickly. You can choose to display the overlay icons off. So if I hover over that now, there will be no icons displayed there. Okay. I'm going to select on, and then again, you have the option to make changes to the rest of the options that we have here. So you can choose to display the link icon or choose it off. Again, just have a play around with all of these settings. I won't be going through all of them in depth, as otherwise this tutorial will be over for an hour long. Okay, again, you can change the width, the height, the size, the colors of overlay, and the list goes on and on. So be sure to have a look at these to really make this stand out and be more unique for your particular website. So I'm going to go back, okay, again, query. So you can either query by author, categories, tags, select them by date, order, okay, descending order or ascending order. It's entirely up to you. So if, let's say title, that'll change. Okay, so again, the query option is for you to play around with. I don't think it makes a huge difference. It really is personal preference. Okay. Again, we have the option to play around with the margins, paddings, the border radius. All right, that's entirely up to you. You can either choose to have a solid border if you want. Color it around. Okay, you will have to publish that and then reload the page for it to take effect. However, I'm not going to dive into that too much deeper, as I don't want this to take up too much time. So in some cases, if the changes do not reflect immediately, what generally happens is you have to publish the page and then reload it for those changes to appear. Okay. Typography, again, you can make changes to the typography settings, titles, font sizes, and so on and so forth. So that really is up to you to do for yourself. Okay. You can also target to see what they look like on tablet devices, how many columns are going to be displayed, border radius, typography, and so on and so forth, as well as the same with mobile devices. So that is how we target and customize our portfolio archives page. In the next section, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be showing you guys how to go over the general settings. Stay tuned. Alright, so now that we have customized our portfolio archives page, what we're going to do now is we're going to head over to our WP admin dashboard, okay, and I'm going to walk you guys through the general settings and show you guys how to create a shortcode for you to insert that shortcode into one of your other pages. This can be the home page, contact us page, or in a custom footer or a custom header, wherever it is that you would like to insert this. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to head over to the portfolio section, okay, and we need to select shortcodes. Once we're over here, we have to select add new because we don't have any. So let's select add new. And now what we can do is we can add a title for our shortcode. In my case, I want to add this to the home page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it home portfolio section. Just like that. Brilliant. So basically what we're doing is we're going to be creating a duplicate version of the portfolio archives page, except we're going to be creating a smaller version and inserting this into one of our other existing pages. So again, the settings are virtually the same. In fact, they are exactly the same. We can choose to display how many of those portfolio items we would like to display. In my case, I would like to display all 6, okay? So I'd like to display 6, but you can choose a number that is better suited towards you, okay? I don't want to have masonry on, and I would like to have the title or category positions inside, so only when you hover over it, okay? And I would like to have the title on, and I'm going to leave all of the other settings basically as they are. Okay, I do want to have the categories displayed, and I actually don't want to have any of the pagination on because this is going to be on a home page. So I don't want to have that. And you can also have the load magnific pop-up on or off. Okay, so that's the light box. In this case, I want to have that on. All right, so I've pretty much left all of this as is, except I want to have choose the number of columns. All right, in my case, I want to have 3 columns, yes, and then 6 posts per page. So I did that wrong in the beginning, so please do forgive me. I want to have all of my posts, my portfolios displayed, okay, as well as having it set to 3 columns. So it'll be 3 on top and 3 at the bottom. Okay, and now what we can also do is we can enable the filter bar. By default, it is set to off, but I do want to have that on, okay. And I think we can leave everything as is, all right, the exact same settings as we did in the customizer for the portfolio archives page. Again, you can make changes to the margin, the links, the padding. So I guess it's up to you to display and make changes to any of those settings once you've actually inserted it to see what it looks like, okay. For the image size, I want to open up a lightbox, okay, and I want to have it as a large image, okay. I don't know what the overlay is going to look like, so I'm going to leave it as default for now, and I'm going to leave everything else as is. Alright, you can also go again with regards to the styling, the margins, the paddings, the border radius. In my case, I'm going to leave everything as it was. I think that'll be fine, but like I said, you guys will just have to play around, test it out, and choose which stylings are going to be best for you. Typography, the same. Tablet devices, I'll leave everything as 2 columns, okay, as well as mobile devices, 1 column. So that's very easy, very simple, okay. Now what I want to do is I'm going to select publish. Okay, just wait for that to publish. And now what we have access to is our shortcode. So this is where the bread and butter lies. I'm going to copy the shortcode. Make sure you copy everything, okay. Going to select copy, and now I'm going to head over to my pages, and because I want to add this into my home page, I'm going to select pages and then home page, edit with Elementor. Because this page was built with Elementor, however, if you built a page with any other page builder, Gutenberg, you know, whatever it is, you are able to insert shortcodes into those pages. So as you can see, this is our home page. All right, what I want to do is I want to find a section where I can add in the portfolio area. So I'm just going to go down over here. Maybe let's remove this team section. So let's just delete everything in there. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find shortcode. So, oops, just like that. And I'm going to drag that in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste this. And just like that, we have now got our portfolio section added into our page. Okay, so if I just select update, which I have, and go to preview. Okay, and if we scroll down, we can now see that we've got this on our page. And again, you can add this into any one of your pages. If you wanted to add this into a contact page, or if you wanted to add this into your blog posts, you can add in a shortcode. It's entirely up to you. That's the beauty of this portfolio plugin. It's easy and intuitive to use. And that is exactly that. There's nothing else more to it. In the next section, I'm going to be covering how to change the permalinks because, if you do change the slugs, there is definitely going to be a time where you will need to know how to change the permalinks. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on to the next section, so stay tuned. In the previous section, I showed you guys how to create the shortcode. However, there's one more thing that I actually wanted to add. We're also able to create a new shortcode that only shows a particular category. So, before we move on to the next section, which is the permalinks, I'm just going to show you guys how to create a new portfolio section shortcode to add onto a new page which makes use of a particular category. So, let's head back over to our OceanWP dashboard. Okay, shortcodes. I'm going to select add new shortcode. Okay, and just for the name's sake, I'm going to say specific category. Just like that. And in this case, what I'm going to do is I am going to choose three columns. Okay, and I'm going to select 3. Okay, so what we can now do is we can head over to query, okay, to choose a specific category to display. And in this case, we can now choose the categories that we would like to display from all of our categories. So you can either choose 1 or 2, or you could choose 3 or just 1. In this case, I think I'm going to select trees, all right? Okay, so it's only going to be displaying the portfolio items that have a category of trees. Again, you can also do with tags and not categories, or you can do categories and tags. It's entirely up to you. All right, okay. So I'm going to select publish that, all right? And I'm going to wait for that to save. And now if I just copy that shortcode and go back over to my Elementor page, and I just change this to the one that I've just selected, so select paste, okay? Now I only have 2, but if I did have 3, I would be able to have them over there. Again, I chose not to display the filter bar because I only want to have those category of trees displayed. So if I had 3, then all 3 would be taken up there. So but you get the point. If you had more categories, it's entirely up to you. The beauty of it is that you are able to select a particular category to display and not all categories. So I'm just going to reload this page, okay? Oh, cancel actually, don't need that anymore. I'm not going to update it. In the next section, I'm going to be showing you guys how to edit the permalinks if you make changes to any of the slugs. Stay tuned. Right, so now that I've shown you guys how to make changes to a shortcode by making use of a particular category, tag, slug, and so on and so forth, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you guys how to update the permalink settings if you've made changes to your slug. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to Appearance and Customize and just give this a second or 2 to load. Okay, and once this is loaded, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my portfolio section. Okay, now we can head over to General Settings. So like I mentioned earlier on, if you guys do make changes to the portfolio item slug, portfolio category slug, or the portfolio tag slug, you will need to update your permalink settings. So just as an example, if I head over to portfolios and I change this something to recent work, just as an example, something like that, okay, and I select publish, okay, and if I head back over to the main page and I open this up quickly and I open up a single portfolio item, not that, if I go to the link, what's going to happen is it's going to revert us back to a 404 page. Now this is because we need to update the permalink settings within our WordPress site. So if I head back over to my dashboard, okay, we can head over to settings and permalinks. And what we can now do, okay, as by default it is set to post name. So all we have to do is we have to select save changes once again. Okay, and that will automatically update your permalink settings to what they previously were and update the slugs within the portfolios. That is it for today's video. We cannot wait to see you guys in the next one. Keep well and all the best from the OceanWP team.